life. All right, who ordered a Yappuccino? That's the question. Who ordered a Yappuccino? None of you guys. And right now, I have I have no one watching right now. But for anyone who wants to watch once I record this, appreciate you stopping by. So where do I start with Wisconsin? Where do I start with Wisconsin in this game, right? Well, got off to a great start. Totally looked like they were in control. Looked like an easy win. And there was just you're so cute. You don't have to, but yeah. Well, I can wait a second. If you want to fast forward, if you're watching this on the replay, but I'll talk before I talk about Wisconsin. I just was telling the people on the last live that be careful about your coffee, right? A lot of people get their morning coffee and they're ordering their coffee with all the syrup. Cream is fine. Cream is fine. That's not that bad for you. But they order all this, all the different things. Like people show, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen those videos, like from Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks employees about how they make their stuff. And one, I can't stand when they call them water cubes. Like they're like, making they call ice water cubes, and then it's just like endless sugar, and people call it, then they throw in an ounce of coffee and they call it coffee. Like, it actually might be one of my biggest pet peeves. And then another big pet peeve I have is people talking about their all these different food hacks, right? And it's all crap. It's like together all this different crap that's terrible for you and calling it a food hack. Like, all because you want diabetes doesn't make it a hack. Stop calling it a hack. You're a hack for drinking that shit. It's terrible. So, yeah. One, I don't like all the fancy frappuccinos, cappuccinos, mochas, whatever. They're all garbage. Order some coffee, put nothing in it, or put some creamer in it. That's it. That's it. You don't need to be all fancy with your coffee orders. So that I needed to get to my chest. And then the little video showing behind the scenes how you make the coffee, that drives me nuts as well. I hate it. It's all terrible. People are getting chunky all over the place because they're drinking 1,000 calories in their morning coffees. Just stop it. Stop. All right, you don't need all that stuff in your coffee. So that's a big thing. That's a big thing. For people who aren't there, just telling you guys, creamer, coffee, that's it. Doesn't need to be fancy. Enough with your fancy coffee orders. It's terrible for you. It's killing you. It's killing you. Yeah, so moving on. So, as you can tell, I'm wearing this Wisconsin quarter zip, Wisconsin Badgers at the game, and here are my thoughts on the post-game show, right? This is my post-game show. One, Wisconsin got off to a quick start. Steven Crowell came out really aggressive. They actually started the game off back-to-back buckets. Steven Crowell got to Nolan Winter. They backed their guys down, put in the hoop, kind of like, I'm stronger than you. Let's set the tone. You can't do anything to stop me. All right, great. Crowell got off to a great start, but he finished the game with 6 turnovers, and I've never seen that. I've never seen a 7-footer who doesn't really have any ball handling responsibilities have 6 turnovers in a game. Unbelievable. Wisconsin got Biddle, Oregon's big man, 6 fouls, and I'm going over a recap on the game. Maybe I'll talk about something else when I'm done. But 6 fouls or 3 fouls in the first half from Biddle, and he's their best player. Klesmit did a great job selling a foul and getting him his second, came back in the game, picked up his third. But when he was in that game, in that second half, in overtime, he had one mission, one thing in mind. He wanted to get to his right hand. All right? He wanted to get to his right hand. And Crowell did absolutely nothing to stop him from getting to his right hand. It just, if you know he's going there, you got to just cut off that angle and make him beat you with his left and then tip your cap if he does. So, yeah. Terrible job from Crowell today for the most part. I'm a Steven Crowell guy, but not his best game. And then the home court at the Kohl Center, not a big fan. All right, way too old of a crowd. A great idea to have them standing to start the game, but anything sometimes goes slightly, awry for Wisconsin. Like the crowd starts gasping, moaning, bitching. It's just like, let them do their thing. If there's 10 seconds on the shot clock, they're not really doing anything. You don't need to be freaking out. Stay calm. Let them do their thing. All right. So that the crowd needs to be better, and I think that will happen once they reseat the Kohl Center. It's way too old. So that's the other thing. Klesmit, I've never seen a guy with such poor shooting percentages force up so many heat checks. He makes one three in rhythm, and then I think that gives him the green light to just take the toughest shots you could possibly take. Like, just take the rhythm shots. Don't force it. And he's been forcing it, and I hate to see it because he's a good shooter. But he's 28% from three on the season. If that was me out there, like, I'm only taking the rhythm shots. I don't want my percentage to dip any further than it is. But maybe that's a superpower, right? Maybe because he doesn't care about his percentages and he has supreme confidence that, that's a superpower he has. I don't know. But I think he's got to take more rhythm shots. And then there's too much John Blackwell today. I think he's got to defer a little bit more to Tonje when things aren't rolling himself. He's got to defer a little bit more to Tonje. We don't need to be so cute getting John Tonje the ball. Way too cute getting Tonje the ball. Just get him the ball, let him go ISO style one-on-one. If we're trying to get him the ball, we don't have to run him off these actions when Bamba for Oregon is all over him on the off ball. And playing super physical, handsy defense. Like, Oregon wasn't in foul trouble, so they were playing super physical. So why are we trying to run him on all these sets when Bamba knows that he has fouls to give and he's playing super physical and he's hacking Tonje over the court? Just get him the ball. Just get him the ball. That's all you need to do. So Tonje's got to get the ball, however the circumstance. I mean, you want to put him in a good spot, but I think Blackwell's got to defer more. Klesmit's got to stop shooting such tough shots. Like, get your percentages up a little bit before you start taking all these wild shots. Crowd played terribly. Winter, I thought, sat on the bench a little bit too much today. Gilly's been playing great, and Gilly's turned into a nice piece, but Winter was playing his ass off, and he hit the big shot in overtime. I thought Winter should have played a little bit more. Kamari McGee, in crunch time, I love McGee. Anyone on the channel knows I'm a big McGee guy. What's he doing trying to take a 7-footer on? What's he doing trying to take a 7-footer on toward in crunch time? Like, they're down 2 or it's a tie game, whatever it was. McGee went one-on-one against Biddle. Like, you got to defer there. You got to pull it out. You got to kick it to the big guy. So that's that. Then, you do got to tip your cap to Oregon. They stay persistent, but the 17 turnovers, I've never seen a collapse like this from Wisconsin ever. I've never seen a collapse like this ever. Like, usually Wisconsin is the team that's very hard to make a comeback because they're sure-handed, and they don't beat themselves, they don't make stupid mistakes. They made every mistake in the book, and they were rushing, they were frantic with the Oregon press. They looked like a bunch of 8th graders or 7th graders or 6th graders out there against the press, against a superior team. They looked so uncomfortable. They just got to take a deep breath, break the press like you normally do. And like I said, I think the crowd almost feeds into that panic. Like, Wisconsin's already playing a little bit too fast, and then you have these old people who are gasping and moaning and groaning over everything that's not going perfectly to plan, right? Things go haywire, and then the crowd is just adding on to it by going like they're gasping and they're yelling when things aren't going perfectly. That's just got to stop. The Kohl Center is just the worst home court advantage in the country, and Wisconsin might have pissed away a chance to play in Milwaukee with this loss today. You got to beat Michigan State. Wisconsin's more talented, but Izzo's a big baby on the sidelines. He knows how to work and milk the refs for calls. He's going to be doing his thing. He's going to be cooking on the sideline. The little Napoleon, a little 5'5" Tom Izzo is going to be doing his thing on the sideline, complaining after every single play, and it works for some reason. These refs are impressionable. They're not immune to it. So Tom Izzo's going to do Tom Izzo. Michigan State's going to play physical, and it's going to be a tough and then the Breslin Center's going to be wild. So Wisconsin's got to play like 10 points better than Michigan State on the road. Like, you got to give yourself a huge margin to win there. If it's close, you're not winning. You're not winning. And shout out to whoever's watching. There's 2 people who's been sticking around for this rant. Appreciate you guys watching, and appreciate anyone who's watching on the review. So I think that's enough Wisconsin talk. I can pivot because this channel isn't all about the Badgers. Is it all about college basketball? No, I want to do more entertaining stuff. Whether it's me playing one-on-one basketball, whether it's other kind of content I have moving forward. But yeah, I went on a nice little coffee rant, which is kind of a nice little change. But yeah, hopefully I can fall asleep. I think a good rule with coffee is don't drink it after 2 p.m. It's 2:12. I tried drinking the vast majority of this before 2 because, I'll tell you what, some people can drink coffee late in the day. Not me. Not me. I can't fall asleep once I take it. And then don't get all the sugar in your coffee is the other point I'd like to make. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else under, God's green earth that I would like to talk about. I don't think there is. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for whoever tuned in. If you're watching this back, appreciate you watching. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good one.